Good evening. How are we,
And
ladies and gentlemen?
Live. Good evening, Zach.
Good evening, Michael. How are you?
Doing well, doing well.
It's good. Tonight we'll be talking about how property has never seen a Christmas quite like this one in 2021.
And then next, after we're going to be talking about 3 cracker ways to optimize your property going into 2022. Stay tuned.
And we're back.
Yeah. What a crazy year.
Honestly, we're just at the tail end of it now, and I swear yesterday was February.
It's very true. You think about it now, looking back, COVID started beginning in 2021, also 2020 now.
Yeah.
And literally the 2 past years have just...
COVID-19, so you could even argue it was the end of 19.
It's just how quickly it's all moved. And now going into Christmas as well, obviously keeping it property related also, it's very, very interesting to see what we see on the ground talking to people, because obviously we're speaking to a lot of buyers and sellers, and going into this Christmas time, I think everyone's just excited for a break.
Honestly, everyone, what we've been saying in the office is everyone's a bit pro-life at the moment. They're all like, well, today, even the sun's shining, let's get out and enjoy it.
It's true, because when you think about it, this year has been, in my opinion, very patchy for a lot of people. I feel like it's been a year of extremes. You've either had people that have been busy beyond belief with their work and have had absolutely no time for anything and can't wait to take a break, or you've had people that have been out of work because of the lockdowns, not being able to work, and gone, well, this has been a really, really tough year. I'm just excited to actually look forward to something positive to enjoy as well. So,
well, that's it. It was 6 months of a hard lockdown here in New South Wales or something like that by the end of it.
It's just, and it's been interesting as well, because during that whole time, the property market has just been absolutely red hot this year. But part of pushing into Christmas as well, I found it's definitely leveled out now. It's a bit patchy. It's a bit all over the shop. And I think that's represented by the time of year as well.
I think so as well. Well, December, January is traditionally known as the holiday period. Yeah. So as teeing on to that pro-life thing, a lot of people are just away at the moment.
Yeah, very, very true. And it's interesting as well, because at Novak, to give you an idea, we're open all through the Christmas period. I don't think many agents are. And the reason why we do that, at the end of the day, there's still transactions to be had. Well, there's still people that need to buy at the end of the day. We're putting roof over people's heads, and there's still people that need to sell. Yep. And then on top of that, you got to look at the property management side.
Well, that's crazy. Even especially now, being what happened yesterday alone throughout DY, Cromer, our local suburbs, we had a mini cyclone, I think people are calling it. Yeah. And just to be open today and to help people facilitate all the damage that caused, even just it being 3 minutes.
That's true, actually. The principal Mark today, he was saying there was a couple of people coming in, obviously renting through other agents as well, and some of them are closed at the moment, and literally coming in going, and we're taking them out, finding them accommodation as well. So it's just been very, very interesting. I think yesterday sort of teed it all off to just be like, this has been a crazy year. Let's just enjoy and look forward to the positive. But pushing on in terms of, so that's sort of recapping from this year, but pushing on to the next bit in terms of 3 ways to optimize your property going into 2022. Because of everything that's happened, I think a lot of people now, because it's been such a hot market as well, I think it's on the radar for a lot of people going, should I rent my property out now? Should I sell my property next year? Should I renovate it? It's on the radar.
It is. It's on a lot of people's minds, especially with the media and everything hyping up the property train. Yeah. Also, so it is running through people's mind wherever you're living, whether you need a change, scenery change, beach change, you want to move west, east, north, south. Everyone's thinking about moving, or at least where they're living at the moment.
It's true. And the media loves to push a story as well. I guess a lot of people still sometimes don't recognize that obviously at the end of the day, they need to sell the news. And so what I found was during COVID, all the stories about, the market's going to drop 30, 40, 50%. And then when it was spiking, it's going to continue spiking for ages. And now there's already starting the articles coming out, it's going to drop again. And it's just, people love to exaggerate. The truth is, and what I've learned over the past few years is during COVID, no one knows what tomorrow is going to bring. No. That's the bottom line. So in terms of what the right thing to do is, you've got to work out for you and your family. So for one of the things was a big thing for a lot of people is, do I renovate my property? And do I renovate in terms of, am I renovating for my family for us to keep living in? Am I going to renovate it so I can sell it? Am I going to renovate it for my tenants? All these different questions people ask in terms of what's the best way to renovate. So, for example, Zach, sometimes people go, okay, well, going into the new year, and this will sort of tie into the second point we're going to make, but should I renovate my property now, let's say coming to that sort of January, February period to sell it afterwards? And I found for a lot of people, there can be that risk in terms of what happens with the market, because you can spend the next couple of months renovating, but what's going to happen at the next couple after those couple of months? And basically, where's the market going to be?
Well, the market changes not just weekly, but daily, really. It just takes one big sale or one small sale and it flips the tide for the rest of them. Because you'll use that as a benchmark comparable for the rest of the properties coming on in that area.
It's true. And also the difference is if you want to renovate your property to sell it, you're definitely going to be doing it differently to renovating maybe for you and your family. Because some people go, I'm going to put in all these beautiful 5-star appliances, 5-star finishes into the property. Yet maybe the market, you don't need that for what you're renovating your unit or your house, and you've overcapitalized when you're selling. So you just got to be really, really careful. So the key is for that, make sure you renovate for what your situation is. There's not one way to renovate a property that everyone should do. No. You got to do it based on your situation.
Exactly. And what you're looking for as well, because I don't know, you could be in more of a rundown property, and if you fix up the kitchen, people will still come through and go, maybe it's just a knockdown.
Yeah, it's very true. Just do one little bit that you go, I've spent this money, but someone's still going to knock down the home.
Yeah.
So that's, very, very interesting there. Second point is, when's the right time to sell? And I'll let you run with this a bit, Zach, in terms of a lot of people have asked the question, especially now going into the Christmas period. Yeah. Like list to launch in 2022. So I come on the market now during Christmas. What are your thoughts about all that?
The fact of the matter and the chatter around the business is a lot of people are looking to launch their properties late Jan, early Feb. Yeah. And a piece of advice that pretty much has run through both of us for our entire times as real estate is you're much better off selling in isolation than in competition.
That's a good one.
So I know it's a good one.
Isolation.
It rolls off the tongue, that one. In isolation, not in competition.
But it makes sense.
It does. So at the moment, we're actually sitting at 385 properties across the whole of the Northern Beaches. To give you guys a ballpark, 2 weeks ago, we're sitting at 650.
Wow. And what's 650? Is that high? Is that low? What's the gauges?
650. It depends what you're comparing against. At the start of COVID, just before we jumped into the 2019 drop, I guess you could have called it, at the very start of 2019, we were sitting at 850. So we're below that initial drop already. 2017, I believe it was, early 2018, when the market was flooded. We had just over 1,000 properties on the market.
Okay, so we're still, a gauge.
So we're still about really half.
Low. Really, really low.
But last year at Christmas, just before we hit the massive boom in houses and apartments, we're sitting at 350. So we're up from that.
Because my suggestion, and this is both actually, funnily enough, normally something that's good for a seller is not good for a buyer or vice versa. But I still think now the market has been so red hot the past 6 months. Now's a great time to actually start looking at it. There's still properties available for sale on the market as a buyer. Now's a great time to pick up a property because there's still properties around. The vendors obviously want to have them sold, and you're not running around with thousands of people coming through open homes. And then for the seller on the flip side, now's a great time to actually start working your property, as Zach said, putting it onto the market. You're selling in isolation. It's not as red hot. You figure out what you're going to be able to sell your property for. Because a lot of people, what people don't realize is this market's been so hot this year and it's great. You're making all this money selling your property for big money. You got to buy back into the market for most people. They're normally selling their family home.
That's it.
To upsize, downsize, but you're buying back into the market. And for a lot of people, it's actually been very scary. They haven't been able to get back in.
No, not at all. And the rule of thumb always is as long as you buy and sell in the same market, you're always getting the same value across the board. So people were buying and hoping it'd drop, held on to their money, and it kept going up. Now they're boxed out.
If you're going to sell your family home, don't gamble with it. Transact in the same market. Sell, buy, sell. As long as you do them around the same time, you're going to insulate yourself from those shocks. I genuinely think January is a great time for a lot of people buying and selling.
Early Jan.
Correct. I think it's always traditionally after Australia Day. That's when all the properties hit the market. That's when all the real estate agents come back from their holidays. So that's when they all launch.
That's it. So if you're out there looking to sell for a big price in isolation, or you're looking to buy and pick up a property that was sitting on over Christmas, early Jan, perfect golden window.
Yeah, very true. And the last point we're going to go through today is renting out your property. So for a lot of people as well, for our landlords out there, if you have one property, 10 properties, it doesn't matter. What is the best way to, maximize your rental? And there's always the age old, you've got to have a good tenant. It's worth more than extra $10 a week. You want to put a quality tenant in there. But it's been really interesting, the rental market, because you watch the sales market and it's been like a roller coaster ride over, let's say, the past 5 years. The rental market's pretty much stagnant when it comes to prices.
Yeah. If The sales market's like a roller coaster, like a hardcore extreme one at Disney World.
Yeah.
The rental market's a bit like the kiddie area. It's a bit more flat.
Is that like one of those rides that just like the teacup ride?
It's just slowly. It's like this. It's like bobs.
It's very true though, because it's so crazy where the market has gone up so much in price, yet yields have dropped through the floor because the rental prices haven't changed drastically. Yes, they've gone up slightly over certain periods, have gone down slightly, but overall they have not adjusted a whole lot. And personally, I think that rents are going to start to take a bit of an increase over 2022.
I think so as well, with a lot more people getting boxed out of buying, with interest rates being rumoured to go back on the rise. People still need places to live. In select environments because of workplaces, because of family, because of whichever reasoning you have to already be looking in that area. And I believe that'll drive rents back up. Yeah,
I agree. And I don't think it's going to be like the sales market where it's just going to fly through the roof, but there is going to be, I think, that steady increase with it where it will start to move up. And it's funny, they play catch up on each other, the sales and the rentals market. They almost, one moves, so it forces the other one to move as well. But yeah, so if you're a landlord looking to rent out your property, I think over 2022, there's going to be those rent increases. So definitely when your property does become vacant, let's say there's a tenant moving out, have a chat with your property manager, work out if there's small things you can do to touch it up, put it back on the market and see if you can maximize that rental return.
100%. And this is a Christmas I don't think we'll ever see again.
No.
And this is a Christmas market we haven't seen before.
It's very true. So look, guys, have a Merry Christmas, everyone. I think, everyone put your feet up, enjoy this time of year. And we'll be very excited to obviously join you all. Is this going to be the last one for the year, actually?
No.
There's going to be one more.
There could be one on the public holiday next Monday.
There could be.
There could be.
Tune in for then as well. But if not, enjoy. Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas, guys. Kick your feet up. Enjoy the good weather while it lasts.
Cheers.
See ya.